So this is JAWS 2026, and at first glance, it doesn't look that different. But once you start using it, you realize this update is not about speed or polish. It's about understanding. And one of these changes already breaks how most audits are done. I have been running JAWS 2026 on real websites with real testing scenarios, and a few changes are quietly reshaping how screen reader users experience the web today. Let me show you the ones that actually matter. But before we dive in, a huge thank you to Douglas Gary from Vispero for giving us a 45-day trial of JAWS 2026, so we could make this video as deep and accurate as possible. Before we get to the AI features everyone is talking about, there's one change you will hit the moment JAWS 2026 starts, and it's not optional. JAWS 2026 now requires a Vispero account to sign in. No account, no JAWS. This change looks an additional step, but it directly unlocks the AI features you are about to see. This is not about the licensing friction. This is infrastructure. Vispero is moving JAWS towards services that require identity, AI, cloud feature, and eventually syncing preferences across machines. And this account is the reason the next feature exists at all. This is Page Explorer. Before this, user had to explore the page via multiple keyboard shortcuts. JAWS 2026 explains the page with just one keyboard combination. In JAWS 2025 and before, you land on a page like this and you start exploring. Headings, regions, links. You don't know what matters yet. Page Explorer flips that. Let's press Insert, Shift, and E
Page Explorer
to enable the Page Explorer.
FS Companion Page Summary 1. Layout. Bullet. The page has a top banner area containing the main navigation with links such as e-shop, left parent, home, right parent, login, products, proceed, my profile, and sale. Bullet. Below the banner is a search input with a search.
I pressed Control key to stop JAWS from reading it further. But if we go into this window, which is called as Freedom Scientific Companion, it actually summarizes the entire page. By pressing the Insert, Shift, and E, I enabled this window, which is called as Page Explorer. Now within this, it's giving us the summary. If I scroll down, it is providing the overall structure of this entire page. It says it has a top banner area containing the main navigation with links. It lists out all the links. And then it says below the banner is a search input with search button for finding electronic products. Now imagine opening up a new website and being a screen reader user getting all this handy information. It is telling me what's on the page, which important segment of the page is present where, and how to get there, including the list of important links. If I go to the bottom of this section, it says important links. And if I have to interact with this, let me do Shift Tab.
Provide feed previous link, sale link, my profile link.
I can directly click on this to trigger the functionality. It will not take me to the section of the page. It will not scroll there, but rather trigger that functionality. So if I press Enter,
192.
It opens up a new page. Since I have not linked to any of those pages, it's giving us the errors. Let's go back.
Electronic product.
And it closed the window. So let's re-trigger it. Shift, Insert, and E.
Search products, edit, blank, placeholder, search, starting Page Explorer.
And as you can see, there is an option for us to ask any follow-up questions. So this is more like an AI bot for us, wherein you can interact and ask questions. So let me ask, how many iPhone cards are there on this page?
Enter. How many iPhone cards are there on this page? There is only one iPhone card on this page, bullet.
It says there is only one iPhone card on this page. Let's see what other information it has given. It says you can quickly locate it by using heading navigations. Press 6 to jump to the next level 6 heading, or by searching for iPhone with JAWS find command. So it is giving you instructions on how you can directly access that particular card. So if I close this just to verify, It says iPhone 15 Pro Max. Let me close it.
Electronic.
And the first card that we see on this products page is iPhone 15 Pro Max. Let's scroll down. It missed Samsung Galaxy S24, or maybe I ask only for iPhone? No, we asked for iPhone only. That's why it is giving me. Okay, let's see if I open it up again. Will it retain the history or not?
Starting page explorer. Page summary 1. Layout.
Okay, it's not maintaining the page history of the questions that we asked. Let me ask it one more time. Let's say how many phones are there on this page?
How many phones are there on this page?
It says there are 3 phones listed on this page.
3 phones listed on this page, (1).
So I believe this is helpful. Think about opening up Amazon.com, and on that website, you can simply type in the product that you are looking for. It will say whether it's present on the page or not, and give you instructions on how to navigate to that particular product. I believe this is extremely helpful for a screen reader user. What are your thoughts? Put it in the comments. This is not faster navigation. This is orientation. It reduces cognitive load, especially for complex or cluttered pages. One important detail: Page Explorer availability depends upon your license. Home users get limited requests. Professionals gets unlimited. And once you have used this feature, going back to exploration feels outdated. If you find this kind of deep, practical breakdown helpful, support my work by becoming a member. It enables me to keep bringing you meaningful, hands-on accessibility content like this. Understanding a page is one thing, but even when you know where you are, sometimes the interface itself just isn't labeled. This is one of the most common failures screen reader users hit every day. Buttons with no name, icons with no context. JAWS has had an AI labeler before, but in JAWS 2026, it's enabled by default. As you can see, we have 4 different buttons in these cards which are missing accessible name. Let's see how AI labeler works in this scenario. I'm going to shift tab.
$1,999.9% off free delivery. Add to cart. Button. MacBook Pro 14 M3 Pro to activate. Press enter.
Now, JAWS 2026 is able to announce this as an accessible name because I have already used the insert G feature. Okay, so if I do insert G, it will generate the accessible name for us by looking at the overall context of this card. I'm going to do tab and let's go to iPad Air and have a listen if I don't enable it.
Unlabeled 19 button to activate. Press enter.
It says unlabeled 19 button, which is not an accessible name. Now, to make sure that it gets an accessible name, we have to use insert and G. So let me do that.
Electronic products vertical bar skills. Electronic $599 $649 8% off free delivery. Button to activate. Press enter.
The moment I did that, it understood the context of this particular card and then generated an accessible name for the empty or missing accessible name for a button. That's the AI labeler for you in JAWS 2026. So behind the scenes, JAWS captured the element, sent it to an AI model, and generated a meaningful accessible name for us. And if I move my focus away and come back to this button, it stays persistent, even if I refresh my page. So let's start with refreshing the page.
F5, electronic.
Let's go directly to that section.
Electronic products vertical bar skill sing. $1,000, $599, $649 8% off free delivery. Button to activate. Press enter.
So it's retaining the accessible name that their AI model generated. And even if I do tabbing,
add to cart. Button
and go back with shift tab,
$599.
It's maintaining the accessible name. Remember, JAWS is not encouraging to have buttons without accessible names. It's a workaround to reduce the friction while we are making the fixes. One limitation is if your organization blocks AI or online services, this feature won't be available. Let's see what happens when a button is already having an accessible name and we use insert G.
Add to cart button to activate. Press enter.
Let's do the AI labeler by pressing the insert G keyboard key.
Yes button, Alt plus Y. Replace label dialog. The current custom label is quote add to cart button quote. Do you want to replace it with this new label? Quote add to cart button quote. Yes button to activate. Press space bar. Alt.
So it detected that there is already an accessible name. Would you like to replace it with the one that they have generated? In this scenario, I don't see much of a difference, so I will say no. And this is how AI is actually revolutionizing the accessibility field, wherein for missing labels, we are able to provide accessible names. When you pair AI Labeler with Page Explorer, JAWS isn't just reading interfaces anymore. It's actively repairing them. So far, we have talked about understanding pages and fixing broken interfaces. But for a lot of users, the primary output is not speech at all. Braille support has always worked in JAWS, but setting it up, not always simple. JAWS 2026 brings plug and play for HID Braille displays. Simply plug in your Braille display and that's it. No driver selection, no synthesizer changes. JAWS claims to recognize it automatically. This removes a huge barrier for first-time Braille users, and it reduces support overhead for schools, employers, and IT teams. This is what modern hardware support is supposed to feel like. Once hardware setup stops being the problem, the next thing users notice is how predictable the web feels. A lot of accessibility issues are not dramatic failures. They are small inconsistencies. Focus jumps, tables that don't explain themselves, links that don't land where they should. JAWS 2026 does not rewrite how the web works. It just makes it behave the way users already expect. Regions with accessible names are now announced by default. There have been instances of inconsistencies. Even when you were providing ARIA labels for regions, they were not getting announced. So that's a big improvement in JAWS 2026. This small change makes the entire structure immediately clearer. When navigating complex tables, JAWS now announces table headers and columns consistently, even when you have row span and column span. Again, a very good improvement on 2025. This actually removes a lot of guesswork for end users. Same page links now land where they are supposed to consistently, even when the form mode is manual. JAWS 2026 can now read SVG ARIA labels even when you're not using role image, which means you have to be very careful when you're using SVGs for decorative elements. And none of these are new concepts, they are fixes to the already reported issues in JAWS 2025. There are also stability improvements in Chrome, large tables, combo boxes, and focus behavior when exiting form mode. None of these changes are flashy, but together they make navigation more predictable. And that predictability is what builds trust. Now, talking about the other major improvements that does not impact your day-to-day activity include this is a new modern script compiler that's now the default, laying the groundwork for more flexible scripting going forward. Java applications using Swing now behave like standard Windows apps, which simplifies navigation and reduces custom scripting. LibreOffice gets several quality of life upgrades, better spell check feedback, clearer heading announcements, and improved stability in Calculator. Microsoft Office sees performance gains too, especially in very large Excel files, along with cleaner speech in Word and better tracking of team notifications. Braille translations have been updated, and new Braille displays are supported out of the box. And across Windows itself, there is less unnecessary speech, fewer duplicate announcements, and smoother dialog navigation. None of these are headline features, but together they make JAWS feel quieter, more stable, and more intentional. JAWS 2026 isn't trying to impress you, it's trying to get out of your way. And for the people who rely on it every day, That might be the biggest upgrade of all. So that's JAWS 2026. Not a flashy update, but a meaningful one. If this helped you understand what actually changed, go ahead and like this video. It helps other testers find it. I'm curious, which new feature stands out to you the most? Page Explorer, AI Labeler, or something else? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one of those. And if you work with testers or developers who use JAWS, share this with them. These changes affect how real users experience the web. In our next video, we will do a complete end-to-end demo of JAWS 2026. This is Param Singh signing off.